If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late-night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast delivery, the product you need now is never far away. So you can turn that dishwasher back into a lean, clean washing machine. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Oh, this is driving me up a goddamn wall. What the hell's going on now all of a sudden? All of a sudden, everything went to shit on my microphone end. That's weird. I could barely hear myself in my headsets, and it's driving me up a goddamn wall. Oh, I wonder how it's doing on this end. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. But I do want to say welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a broadcast, you can go to Reaver.one. Click on the SHR TV button. And you can go to YouTube, search for SHR Media while you're there. Make sure you click on the subscribe button. Keep up to date on all the great shows. And last but not least, you can go to Facebook and search Reaver of Common Sense. That looks a little weird. What is going on? Oh, God. It just seems like everything's gone to hell in a handbasket. And yes, this is going to bother me the whole show. Because I don't like it when things don't work right. Because I can't hear myself on any other broadcast. Oh, this is gonna... Oh, I hate when you have nothing but issues after issues after issues. The picture looks good. I can't go there. This is typical of this show anymore. I'm having such massive, and it's stupid little issues. I mean, everything was working fine. I go live, and all of a sudden it just... This is weird. isn't this working? Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2. Let's see. Check. What the hell? Holy shit. What the hell is going on? Check 1 2. Jenna, can you hear this now? Because it still doesn't sound right. This is goddamn. Alright, we're shutting the show down. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2. All right. Let's see how this one's doing. I think this just fixed the issue. Something just went on my one board. Let's see. Let's try starting everything back up again. I am deeply sorry for all the issues that are going on. It seems something went on my board. So let's see how this goes. We'll get it back up and running. And I'm just waiting for one other to come up. And I think I corrected the issue. Something went on mixer board. So, come on. Come on. There we go. I think this should correct the issue. So hopefully this is correcting all the issues that are going on. I'm checking it out right now. Jenna, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hopefully this is all that's... Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened. I did something on Mixer channel 1 that went. Damn it. Now that's going to have me going nuts. I've been in contact with support with XSplit, which is my my live stream software. They've had me change some settings, so hopefully that fixes the issues that I was having on the live stream. Damn, this really pisses me off. Wait a minute. How did I get all the way turned down? Let me check something. One last thing. And let's see. All right. Crap. All that, and it was somehow one knob, and I have no idea how it got turned down, but one knob, one stinking knob got turned down. When I finally was able to see, hopefully this is fixing the issues. I still have to adjust some things real quick. One knob got turned down somehow, so I think my daughter might have been in here goofing around. But normally she doesn't. I didn't see her in here. So, all right. Muchos apologios. I know that's not how it actually goes, but hey, this is Jersey Joe. I do whatever I want. Still doesn't sound right. So, come on. No audio? Crap. What the hell? There's nothing on YouTube? Huh. This is absolutely weird. Absolutely weird. And I have no idea why all this is going on. Maybe I should have shut down the show. All right, that sounds about right there. That sounds about right. Let's see. All right, I think I got the mic back. This is absolutely going to drive me up a wall. Why is there no audio? How the hell did that get? Sound system. Microphone. Apply. Oh, this is going to be a long day. All right. So there's no sound on YouTube, but there's sound on Facebook, right, Jenna? I am getting your messages, Jenna. Let me see. Don't tell me my mixer just went. But that should still, hold on. All right. Hopefully that takes out the sound. And this comes out a little bit better. Yeah, something's up with my mixer. Because this definitely sounds 100% better. 100% better. In my ears, it sounds a hell of a lot better right here. Let me copy. So, let's see where we're at here. All right, you can hear me on Facebook now? I could barely hear myself on YouTube. Oh, man, this is really pissing me off. All right, that's there. That's there. I have that jacked up way up high. Something really went haywire here, and I don't know what it is. Oh, man. At least I'm not the only one. I know a couple of the other guys are having issues, too. They've had issues of late. All right, YouTube. That's all weird. I mean, everything was working fine right before I went to get on air. Everything was working great. And as soon as I hit the buttons to go on air, poof. Yeah, all my levels are real low on the broadcast, and that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. Ooh, did that get? Let's check. He had me messing around with a bunch of my sound levels, and I'm wondering. Ow, ow, ow. Let's see how this goes now. Let's really see how this goes, because I think somehow shit got turned all the way down. on my audio. All the volume levels were turned down in my Windows. Damn, that's weird. None of this makes sense to me. How did all this shit get turned down? Well, hopefully this all gets worked out in a minute. I think the sound's getting better as I talk. I can actually see the equalizer moving on the software now. So hopefully that has helped out a tremendous bit. And this is like pissing me off because the first half of part of the show is gone. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the sounds are getting better because it's I'm playing brain fart. Because I can hear it through my tablet now with no problem. So that's a good thing. Let's see if I jacked it up too high now. So, I guess when one of the settings he had me do, there we go. There we go. I guess when one of the settings he had me do, it reset all my sound levels. And if you hear a double voice, that's because I got stuff in the background going, trying to figure stuff out. All right, there we go. We're good to go. My apologies. That's the problem when you have tech support helping you right before a show. It has a tendency to undo a lot of your settings. And if hopefully you understand what's going on. They had me change some settings to try to help with my audio issues on the broadcast. But the settings they had me do, I think it reset all my levels and actually put them all the way down, which was not good. Yeah, it's sounding a lot better. All right, there we go. All right, one last thing, and then we can get on with the show. Loud enough you can hear the fan going. That is a good thing. I'd rather have that issue than have you can't hear anything at all. But if the fan gets too bad, I will turn it down, or I can turn the level down a little bit. But I think I'm going to leave it right here. Let's see how it did on mic 1. I'm going to check one last time. Ooh, that didn't like. Let's see how that. All right, now it seems to be doing great. I got to turn this up just a little bit. Now we're sounding everything back to where it should be. And you know what sucks? Do you know what really sucks? Is it? I'm going to take a break real quick. Get everything's all sorted out, ready to go. And when we come back from the break, we're going to kick the show off, and we're going to get it going right. And my apologies to everybody. I'm severely sorry for the issues that I've had at the start of the show. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe.
Featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American maggots won't. BZ is fundamentally changing America one diaper at a time. Just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, where the speech is free, but the drinks are not. The Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night, commencing at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, where pushback is a requisite art form in and of itself. Let your ossicles be truly liberated when you listen to the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, only on SHR Media Network. No ferrets were harmed in the making.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians.
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
A team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cat for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Now let's see if we can get the show off right. And I want to give a big thank you to Jenna. Jenna, you were a huge help there. You helped me out a lot. Again, I apologize for the issues I was having. Never do tech support right before you go on air because you're going to have a lot of things that are screwed up that I didn't know were screwed up until after I already had the show up and running. So thank you, Jenna. Thank you. So what we're going to get to, actually, we're going to get to the St. Louis police. This I thought was funny, and I know some people may not agree with it. There's been riots in St. Louis. What's going on is there was a police officer that shot a black guy, you know where it's going right there. So the trial was held, and, well, the cop was found innocent, or at least not guilty of the charges. So, of course, you got rioting and all that going on. You got Antifa, you got all the idiots out there causing problems. And you'll hear Antifa very often, they'll start chanting, "Whose streets? Our streets." So what did the cops do after arresting and getting things calmed down? They start chanting, "Whose streets? Our streets." And that's exactly it. It is their streets. I mean, everybody owns the streets, so to speak. But at that point, it is their streets. I do not agree with what's going on with a lot of these protests. They're not looking for justice. They're looking for revenge. There's a big difference between the two things, between justice and revenge. They want revenge, not justice. But these cops, it was just beautiful. They just start chanting, "Whose streets? Our streets." And they took them back. It seems like St. Louis police is not going to put up with any of the bullshit. And they're making sure everything stays calm. And I don't know about anybody else. I'm getting tired of all these bullshit riots and all that. I never understood some of these riots. I never understood it. So you're upset with what's going on. So what do? You ransack your own city. You destroy your own city. And I know there's out-of-towners coming in and causing some of these problems. I know that. But still, let me tell you, you come into my town and you're going to start rioting and you're not in this town, you better believe I'm going to go out there and be on the side of the cops and trying to stop you, whether I'm pissed off the cops or not. You're not going to come into my town and destroy it. I'm going to go protect it. You want to go out there and march in the streets and do your little slogans? Go ahead. As soon as you start rioting, you are no longer, and if you stay out there knowing that this is going on, you are no longer a protester. You are part of the riot. You are accomplices to the riot. And you know damn well that shit's going on. You know who these people are. And I have seen some of these protesters that step up. No, I'm not a part of this, so I'm leaving at this point. This is not what we stand for. I applaud them. I applaud people like that. I may not agree with what they're saying, but they're doing it the right way. Again, I may not agree with a lot of things, but if you're doing it the right way, I'll applaud you for doing it. I'll back you. I don't agree with the crap that neo-Nazis and KKK members have to say. But when they're out there and you're doing it without violence and just speaking, you have the right to do it. And these protesters, I don't agree with what they have to say about the police. I've said it before. I disagree with a very close friend of mine. He's like one of my best friends. One of my oldest friends. I can count. I got, 3, 4 best friends that I really trust anymore. And he's one of them. He's one of the oldest. We've been there for each other through some very hard times in our lives. And we disagree on the stance of the police. But we could talk about it respectfully. He's not out there trying to burn down a local store. And they're claiming racism and all this crap. And then they're going down and burning a black owner's store. That person works their ass off to keep that store running. To be a small business in the United States it's hard as hell nowadays. It is not an easy task. I applaud anybody that can keep a small business up and running. I've tried it. I'll be trying it again next year. I had to try to make up for some money. I'll be doing a lawn service on the side, But you know what? I don't understand these idiots. They're going around just destroying stuff. You're not being a protester. you're not a protester at that point. You're just being an asshole and destroying stuff. You're being a fucktard. Period. Oh, let's see, where are we at? What's next? I don't want to give too much attention. I just thought it was funny we have cops chanting, "Whose streets? Our streets." Last night at Georgia Tech violence broke out there again. Now, from what I've read and what happened is basically a student, looks like had a breakdown, had a knife, and it looks like it was a suicide by cop. Now everybody's up in arms about it. They're going after the cops. There's been some riots. They set a cop car on fire. I don't know. What was that cop supposed to do? You're coming at him with a knife. You kind of have no choice but to fire at that point. That's why they call it suicide by cop. And it sucks. It really does. It really does suck. I wouldn't want to be one of those officers. They have to live with that the rest of their life. You know? And so now there's violence. I mean, it got to the point that Virginia Tech put out an alert for everybody to stay in their rooms. Because they were fearing that other violence would happen to students. And explain it. Just explain this to me. This is the result of kids not getting spanked enough. You got that right. What were the cops supposed to do at that point? Seriously. They're supposed to coddle this kid, and it's, I think, transsexual or part of the LGBT community. So that's supposed to add to it. Cops, they don't give a shit. Oh, wait a minute, we got a transsexual here. Open fire, everybody. No, they ain't doing that shit. Those cops do not, pretty much no matter who it is, they don't want to go around killing people. They're cops, not murderers. And this is what pisses me off about liberals. They attack cops, they attack law-abiding, and they protect fucking criminals. They'll protect a murderer. Well, murderer, as long as it's not a cop. They'll protect a murderer before they'll protect the victim. It just... It pisses me off. It really does. I mean, what were the cops supposed to do? That cop's got to live with it the rest of his life. That he took someone's life, right or wrong. That cop took someone's life, and he will live with that. Or he or she, I'm not sure which it was. Excuse me for assuming it was a male cop. And they're saying with video of the incident, Saturday night showed Schultz, who was the kid, not a kid, but, he's 21 years old, barefoot, holding a knife. They said an object. And you could hear the kid yelling, "Shoot me," to the officers. The cops are yelling, "Drop the knife, drop the knife. Nobody wants to hurt you, drop the knife." He was a fourth-year computer engineering major and the president of the Georgia Tech Pride Alliance. I mean, just basically he did a suicide by cop. You can only do so much for so long. And as soon as they make the wrong move, he's got a weapon. You don't know what stage of mind. There is a lot of people, when they get to that point where they want to die, they're willing to stab an officer to get shot. So those officers have to protect themselves at any means. And their thought is, who goes home? Who I would like to see both go home. But I'd rather see that cop before the other one walk away. He wanted to die. He or she wanted to die. Well, got what they wanted. And now everybody... And this is the Democrats. Democrats ought to own this shit. They started it. They fueled it. They created this monster. And it's biting them in the ass. It is. Because now it's pissing off a lot of people. And now they're attacking the Democrat Party. I mean, I didn't touch on it yesterday. I think I might have it for later. They went after Pelosi. And if I don't, I'll try to get the clip and play it. A group of immigrants went after Pelosi, calling her a liar, just attacking her, telling her to shut up. And then she, it started out with her telling them, a white rich woman telling a bunch of Latinos to shut up. That was real nice. But yeah, it was quite somewhat funny to watch that because I guess you can call the Democrat Party Dr. Frankenstein, and the monster has come back to attack them. Hey, Jenna, how's the sound going still? It's not doing that helicopter, is it yet? Because that's I got to make sure that issue's still fixed after all that. Oh, I don't know. It is what it is. Huh, amazing. Yeah, thank you, Jenna. I also pulled the audio out on it. Dang, it does sound pretty good. But it's still early in the show. We'll see how it goes. The funny part is, right before the show, I had unplugged this microphone for a second. I was tightening up the bracket that holds it in place. So I unplugged it for a second. And that's what made me go like, oh, shit, what's going on? Did I screw something up? Then I thought maybe the microphone went. That's why I grabbed another microphone out. And I was like juggling around trying to figure out, did the cord go? Yeah, I don't need to jinx it. You're right. This is the problem when you're doing a show all by yourself. You got to handle I'm wearing so many damn hats. It's not funny. It really isn't. The things I do to get the show, it's not terribly hard, but when things go wrong, it just goes to hell because there's nobody else to help me. So it's like, okay, do I keep talking where nobody can hear me? Or do I try to fix the problem and sit there and look like an idiot with dead air? I don't know which way to go. The thing is, I'm not sure on my audio if I was broadcasting the whole time or not because I rarely check that audio because I haven't had no issues with it. So, all right, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to take a little trip in time and go back to Hillary right before the election and one of her statements to show what kind of hypocrite she really is. But you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe.
Featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American maggots won't. BZ is fundamentally changing America, one diaper at a time. Just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, where the speech is free, but the drinks are not. The Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night, commencing at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, where pushback is a requisite art form in and of itself. Let your ossicles be truly liberated when you listen to the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, only on SHR Media Network. No ferrets were harmed in the making.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on SHRmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to SHRmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Oh, boy, it's been a long thing. All right, so I just saw something. I got it. Well, number one, I have to, again, thank Jenna. You were great. How do you milk sheep? How do you milk sheep? Bring out a new iPhone and charge $1,000 for it. I just told my wife down. She kind of looked at me at first. Was like, trust me, Jenna, I know what you mean about those hurricanes. They got me fucked up. I mean, just the weather-wise, they're so close. They changed the pressure or something. I don't know what it is. Oh, I was in so much pain last week. When the hurricane went through, I was fine. Hurricane was going right over my house. Fine. the week after, I was in pain. Oh, I was in pain bad. And, come on. I got to find a place that will, I could take this mixer too, because there is an issue with it. I know that. Maybe replace those damn little knobs. So I said we're going to go back in time. And we are, because Hillary is now questioning the legitimacy of our election. She will not accept the results of the election. And which is kind of funny, because if you remember, here, let's just cue it up. It's number 5. There we go. All right, if you remember, sorry, I'm talking to myself out loud. She ran her mouth about Trump and talked about how it was a danger to a national threat for a candidate not to accept the results. And here it is in her words, not mine, her words. Make sure.
He said a lot of things throughout those 3 debates, but I got to tell you, there's one in particular out of that 3rd debate that no presidential nominee of either party has ever said before. He refused to say that he would respect the results of our election. Now, I have to admit, when we were both asked the question, I assumed he would say what everybody has always said, which is, hey, of course, because to say you won't respect the results of the election, that is a direct threat to our democracy. The peaceful...
Now remember, it is a direct threat to our democracy, she says. A direct threat. And what is she doing now? She's sitting in Costco, signing books, giving interviews in the toilet paper aisle, refusing to accept the election. It's been how many months since the end of the election? She lost. There's been no Russian interference. She's still kicking that one around. No Russian interference. To the point, do you even hear Democrats really talking about that anymore? No. Because it's dead. It's been proven there was no interference. She's out there still running mistakes. And one of the Costco workers said that they overheard her where she was running around blaming Trump, and saying how she is going to run in 2020. Go ahead, because you know what? I think Trump will win even a bigger electoral college margin. It's like, oh my God, what is this woman thinking? Is she really trying to do that much damage to the country? She can't accept the results? She's worse than a little child when it comes to it. She's worse. I mean, she made this big stink about how it's a national threat, and now she's being the national threat. And she'll totally ignore that she said all this. She thinks us Americans are too stupid to remember that. She thinks we're too stupid. She actually thinks that maybe the United States Supreme Court should get involved in this and mediate the constitutional crisis. She thinks the Supreme Court should step in and redo the elections, because that's what Kenya's Supreme Court did. But again, let me play this for you again. So I want everybody to understand this is the Democrat Party. Do as I say and not as I do.
Things throughout those 3 debates, but I got to tell you, there's one in particular out of that 3rd debate that no presidential nominee of either party has ever said before. He refused to say that he would respect the results of our election. Now, I have to admit, when we were both asked the question, I assumed he would say what everybody has always said, which is, hey, of course, because to say you won't respect the results of the election, that is a direct threat to our democracy. The peaceful transfer of power is one of the things that makes America America. It is not a joke. And look, some people are sore losers, and we just got to keep going.
Some people are sore losers, and we got to keep going. Sounds like she's the fucking sore loser. She is proving how much of a sore loser she really is. I mean, seriously, she's out there with a book, What Happened? She's blaming anybody and everybody else. She literally is blaming everybody. She's blamed the Democrat Party. She's blamed the American people. She has blamed Comey, Russia, women. She's blamed husbands. But she has not said it was my... Oh, and she has blamed the news, too. She has blamed the news. Which is, like, what the hell is she talking about? And it's gotten to the point that... I'm trying to pull the article up now. It's a little bit down further. I screwed up and I didn't have it set up for back-to-back. It's an absolute joke with her anymore. She is a joke, I should say. And it was Sunday on CNN's reliable source, New York Times reporter, said Hillary Clinton made it sound in her new book, What Happened, like she thought it was the media's job to get her elected. She thought it was everybody else's job to do it. It was Obama's job to go out there and campaign. It was Biden's job to go out there and campaign. Michelle Obama. It was everybody else's job to go out and campaign, not her, though. It was the media that should get her elected, even though she wasn't doing any interviews. They covered her ass left, right, and center. But she felt that it was the media's job to get her elected, and they didn't do enough. And Brian Stetzler asks, is Clinton right that there hasn't been enough soul-searching about the press responsibility? And the New York Times reporter, I agree with Hillary that for an industry that thrives on investigation and interrogating others, we're very bad at scrutinizing ourselves. And there definitely could be more soul-searching about our role in 2016. The way she presented in the book is a little bit like it was our job to get Hillary elected. Our job was to inform the voters about their choices and how those choices would impact their lives, whether it was about Hillary or Donald or any other candidate. Ship her ass over to the mental midget. No, she's not coming to my wife. She's not coming to live with me and my wife. Oh, no, Jenna. No. For those of you that don't get the joke, my wife's 4'7", and I've called her mental midget plenty of times as a joke. I know I'm such a bad husband. So many people, they meet me and my wife and how we go back and forth with each other, and they're like, why do you, if you don't, and my aunt actually asked, well, if they hate each other that much, why do they stay together? And my parents are like, they don't hate each other. They're just smart asses, and they go back and forth at each other, and they think it's funny. No, me and my wife go at it, and people think we're fighting. It's just we're being smart asses. But Hillary Clinton, she's going off her rockers. And I do believe that she is going to try to make another run for president in 2020. And if the Democrat Party pulls their shit and aligns the primary for her to win, they deserve everything they get. Because the chances of her winning again... Oh, you meant Rocket Man. Oh, nah, she can stay here. She gives me something to talk about on the show, so I kind of like that. The other thing that I love talking about is global warming. Now, this is not any conservative site. This is not one of the quote-unquote deniers. This is coming from the actual climate alarmists, the cultists, the global warming cultists now finally admitting that they've got it wrong on global warming. It is an inescapable conclusion of a landmark paper published in Natural Geoscience, which finally admits that the computer models have overstated the impact of carbon dioxide on climate, and that the planet is warming more slowly than predicted. The paper titled Emission Budget and Pathways Consistent with Limiting Warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius conceded that it's now almost impossible that the doomsday predictions made in the last IPCC assessment report of 1.5 degrees Celsius warming above pre-industrial levels by 2022 will come true. In order for that to happen, temperatures would have to rise by a massive 0.5 degrees Celsius in 5 years. Since global mean temperatures rarely rise by even as much as 0.25 degrees Celsius in a decade, that would mean the planet would have to do 20 years' worth of extreme warming in the space of the next 5 years. This, the scientists admit, is next to impossible, which means their carbon budget, the amount of CO2 they say is needed to increase global warming by a certain degree, is wrong. This in turn means that the computer models they've been using to scare the shit out of the world with tales of man-made climate doom are wrong too. One researcher from the alarmist side of the argument, not the skeptical one, has described the paper's conclusion as breathtaking in its implication. He's right. The scientists who wrote this paper aren't climate skeptics. They're long-standing warmists, implacable foes of climate skeptics, and they are also actually the people responsible for producing the IPCC's carbon budget. In other words, this represents the most massive climb down from the alarmist camp. But you certainly wouldn't guess this from the way the scientists are trying to spin their report. Now, according to the London Times, Michael Grubb, professor of international energy and climate change at University College London and one of the study's authors, admitted that his previous predictions had been wrong. He stated during the climate summit in Paris in 2015, all the evidence from the past 15 years leads me to conclude that eventually delivering 1.5 degrees Celsius is simply incompatible with democracy. Speaking to the Times, he said, "When the facts change, I change my mind," as Kenyans said. It's still likely to be very difficult to achieve these kind of changes quickly enough, but we are in better place than I thought. And Miles Allen, professor of geosystem science at the University of Oxford and another author of the paper, said, "We haven't seen that rapid acceleration in warming after 2000 that we see in the models. We haven't seen that in the observation." He said that the group of about a dozen computer models produced by government research institutes and universities around the world had been assembled a decade ago, so it's not that surprising that it's starting to divert a little bit from observation. No, it has nothing to do with that. They had their conclusion, and they made computer models to fit their conclusion. They changed data in it to fit their conclusion. Those models were never going to come true, and they know it. That's why when you hear any predictions, it's 150 years in the future, because you'll never be able to disprove it. Because we've been disproving their fucking information left, right, and center over the last decade. The last decade, they've gotten zero things right. Zero. Not one, zero out of God knows thousands and thousands of predictions that they made. So now they're trying to make predictions that are way in the future. And it's not that, the computer models were wrong. They put in the wrong data to fit their conclusion. They started with the answer and then rigged the question. And that's what they did. We're going to hit a break real quick. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe.
Featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American maggots won't. BZ is fundamentally changing America, one diaper at a time. Just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, where the speech is free, but the drinks are not. The bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night, commencing at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, where pushback is a requisite art form in and of itself. Let your ossicles be truly liberated when you listen to the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, only on SHR Media Network. No ferrets were harmed in the making.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on SHRmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to SHRmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a live broadcast, oh, you can. It's so easy, a liberal could do it. You just go to Reaver.one, that's REAVER.ONE, and click on the SHR TV button. Or, even simpler, go to YouTube, search SHR Media. When you're there, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. There are so many great shows on SHR Media, I can't even tell you how many great shows we have. And we're getting new shows all the time. It's unbelievable the work that Sackhead, Sean, Clint are doing. I'm just so proud to be a part of this network. I really am. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm so proud to be here, and I'm so gracious that they allowed me to be here and gave me the chance to be here. And last but not least, you can go to Facebook and search for Reaver of Common Sense, and you can watch the show there also. Let's see, where are we at? Where are we at? Oh, we're talking about global warming. I want to finish up this article. They're basically, the IPCC is acknowledging that their computer models are crap, that there's no truth to them. And it's I love it. I love it. I love it. I want more of it. I'm going to check one thing real quick. Oh, my broadcast sounds nice. So I got to let them know their little fix. And it was funny. The fix was two little issues. And the main one was, on one piece I was broadcasting at like 4,100 megahertz, and the other one was at 4,800 megahertz, and they had to be the same. That's one of the things that was causing the issues. That's all. And there was a little check mark to make sure that there's no, some kind of sound. Check mark that, and boom. It's now working great. I'm so happy. All right. Now, I'm loving this fact that global warming, and it's not being pointed out by, these deniers. No, it's being pointed out by the cultists themselves that, hey, by the way, our information was wrong. It was what? Starting to sound like a Happy Days episode. It was. I wonder if I can find that real quick. Let me see if I can find that. I'm sorry. I just. Come on. Damn. Tablet's running slow. Oh, I'm looking this up. They found a World War I German submarine at the bottom of the ocean. And they still say it has the 23 members inside, which is amazing. Yeah, this is IPCC, which is basically the global warming community, trying to tell you that they are wrong. Let me make sure there's no. Hang on. Ready?
You're not going to hang these up at any barracks because you're not going to join the Marines. Just take all this stuff home, okay? But Fonzie, not join? I'm all packed. You told me it was the right thing to do. Look, I know what I told you to do, but when I told you to do that, I was...
When we told you that these models were correct, I was
not exactly right. What do you mean, not right? I mean... not right. I don't get you.
Your computer models were off?
Yeah, that's right, Malf. I was what you just said I was just then, yeah. Wrong? The Fonz wrong? Malf, look.
Global warming wrong?
For everything, huh?
And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to act like that. Well, you see, we weren't wrong. We added the 1 and didn't carry the 2 and didn't divide by 3. What's up, BZ? How are you doing? I'm in a good mood. I got all my gremlins fixed. Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you, Jennifer, for reminding me of that, too. I think it's the 23rd. There's a Christian group that says the world will end. So don't forget to get your shopping done. Get your end-of-the-world supplies before Saturday. You know, buy your loved one the latest and greatest gift. Go out and buy yourself a new car because this Christian group, like hundreds and thousands of others before, have predicted that the world's going to end. And I'll see everybody on Monday the 25th to laugh at you about all the money you spent getting ready for the end of the world. Sorry, I couldn't resist that. So my next thing, I just got to get the lighting right. You know what, Jenna? I was talking with BZ last night about a tinfoil fedora, and I thought immediately of you. I was like, hopefully her ears start ringing when I said that. Yeah, I just have one more issue to fix. That's not a big issue, but the green screen behind me every now and then gets a little woogity. I know what it is. I just got to figure out how to fix it. It's lighting and, wrinkles, and my wife doesn't iron, so I'm in trouble there. I think in my lifetime, BZ, I've heard it at least 10 times, the end of the world. I remember, what the hell was that program? In Search Of. It was with Leonard Nimoy. Was it In Search Of? Oh, man, that's... Dang, what was it? What was that show? Pretty sure it was In Search Of. Yeah, In Search Of. I used to watch that all the time as a kid. Me and my brothers loved that. And I remember one time they did one of those In Search Of. It was the end of the world. I love it. I think it's funny. 2012, 2020, 2000. On top of the cathedral is these numbers and all these. Yeah. That's almost as bad as global warming. They can't. Have you ever seen the predicted path of a hurricane? Has anybody seen the predicted path of a hurricane? They call it a spaghetti map for a reason. Because it looks like you threw spaghetti on the screen. But yet, they want to tell me what the temperature is going to be 10 years from now. That's what makes me laugh. The same assholes that can't predict where a hurricane is going to go, but they're going to tell me what the temperature is going to be. They couldn't tell me what the temperature was going to be 10 minutes from now. But they could tell me what the temperature is going to be. People being infected with fucktardus. Yes, protect yourself. Wear the body condom, especially the ear condoms. That will stop the spread of fucktardus. Or fucktitis, excuse me. Oh boy. So yes, the CDC, or the global warming community is admitting they got it wrong. And what's funny is this is a little more than a damage limitation exercise by scamsters who know they've been caught cheating and have now been forced to concede at least some territory to their opposition for fear of looking ridiculous. They're coming out. We've known for several years that the climate models have been running far too hot. This, rather than blatant omission, is welcome, but a cynic would wonder why it was not made before Paris. I suspect part of the motivation is to keep Paris on track. Most observation, including even James Harrison, have realized that it was not worth the paper it was written on. This new study is designed to restore the belief that original climate targets can be achieved. And again, why wasn't this information put out there before the climate change or Paris Climate Accord? They knew this crap was wrong. But they knew if they came out with this, they wouldn't be able to get the countries to sign up like they did. And I would love to see countries starting to back out of it like the United States. And yes, we're going to back out of the climate change. Don't listen to the bullshit you heard on the mainstream media, because the only thing they're trying to do is they're trying to separate you from your support of Trump. Don't trust those assholes that are in the government, McMastersons, any of them. And realize, when has Trump ever came out with like straight face and told exactly what he's going to do in the future? He's always left the Democrats scrambling, trying to understand, trying to figure out what he's going to do. So don't believe till it comes about. Because if he tells them exactly what he's going to do, he has no negotiation power. They know exactly what he's going to do. Well, he can't negotiate for us. And that's what he's done. It makes me really laugh. Although they talk of the difference between a 0.9 degrees Celsius and a 1.3 degrees Celsius, the significant is much greater. Making the reasonable assumption that a significant part of the warming since the mid-19th century is natural, this means that any AGW signal is much less than previously thought. Given that they now admit they have got it so wrong, why should we expect to have any faith at all in the models? And finally, we must remember that temperatures since 2000 have been artificially raised by the recent record El Nino and the ongoing warming phase of AMO. Yep, but at least we climate skeptics have been proven right yet again. That's the main thing. Oh, and by the way, snooty alarmist scumbags, the word that you were looking for to describe the current state of global warming science is sorry. That's exactly it. Hey, everybody, don't forget, coming up, top of the hour, which is going to be about, 22 or 30, 42 minutes, Trying to do the math in the head, and I forgot to carry the 1, divide by the 2, multiply by 3. Will be BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon. Now it'll be 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Again, I almost forgot to divide by the 2 and carry the 3 and add the 9. But yeah, check his show out. The speech is free, but he overcharges for the drinks and waters them down majorly. Sorry, I gave up your secret. There's going to be, and I'm going to make a little prediction. I don't have no fact, just the gut feeling. I think there's going to be more information that comes out soon that disputes a lot of the global warming information. That's going to prove them. That's going to discredit them. And they're going to try to get ahead of the mark and just start letting it out little by little. But I think there's going to be a major incident. Because why would they come out? They've gotten caught doing this multiple times with the temperatures. And they fought through it. And now, all of a sudden, they come out like this. Something's going on. Something big is going on behind the scenes that they're trying to stop. What kind of screwdriver do you need? The drink? It's... I'm looking at the path of Hurricane Maria right now. I can't help you with the screwdriver. The only thing I have is rum. And it's not ready to drink yet. Needs about a year or two. I gotta get the wood out of it. Yeah, so I just predict there's going to be some major... Oh, my God. Fox News is running an article. Nerf guns can cause serious eye injuries, doctor warns. No shit. Any kid knows that you don't shoot your friend in the eye with a Nerf gun. It's going to hurt. Oh, my God. And any kid that does it needs to have their head smacked. But we all tried to do it to our friends. Hey, Johnny, look. Poof, ow! You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. And we will be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe.
Featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American maggots won't. BZ is fundamentally changing America, one diaper at a time. Just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, where the speech is free, but the drinks are not. The Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night, commencing at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, where pushback is a requisite art form in and of itself. Let your ossicles be truly liberated when you listen to the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, only on SHR Media Network. No ferrets were harmed in the making.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cough for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on SHRmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to SHRmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Don't forget, coming up top of the hour, about 35 minutes, you'll have BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by BZ himself. Jump up to the bar, grab a drink, join in the conversation. So, Keith Ellison, this jackass, I really don't like him. Mr. Muslim has made some, I love how they always have to go to this extreme. They always have to make these really wild accusations. So his new one is, he's comparing illegal immigration to Jews under Nazi control. Here they go again, trying to point that Trump is this big Nazi person because he wants to enforce our laws. I know that's something that these dumbass fucking Democrats can't get through their head, that this is the law, and they would rather protect lawlessness and criminals than they would protect what they take an oath to. They take an oath to uphold our laws as they piss all over our laws. So this asshole, and he's a fucking asshole, and he's up there, well, and Jews are under, these legal immigrants are like Jews under Nazi control. You know what? Here, let's listen to this asshole.
Neighbors, I heard today as many as 3 million DACA recipients live with someone who is a citizen of the United States. Add that to the people who work with a DACA recipient. Add that to people who are the parents of a DACA recipient. Add that to people who are parents of American citizens. You're literally talking about over 100 million Americans who are in some way more than 100 million, maybe well over that, who are deeply connected to people who have immigrated to the United States. Some with official papers, some with none. So this is not someone else's fight, this is all of our fight. But some people are in the bullseye and others of us are not exactly the target. Therefore, it is our responsibility to stand up, fight, and do the right thing. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm one of the people who believes we should give our neighbors sanctuary. And if you ask yourself, what would I do if I was a Gentile in 1941 if my Jewish neighbors were under attack by the Nazis? Would I give them sanctuary? You might be about to find out what you would do. Will you pass that moral test, or will you fail it? This is the time for people who truly have faith and belief in their heart to step up and demonstrate it. Thank you.
So what he's trying to say is basically we should step up and protect a bunch of criminals that decided to break the law and come into this country. That's what he's saying. We need to protect criminals. Again, that's all the fucking Democrats do anymore. Let's protect criminals. Let's piss all over, law-abiding. Let's piss all over the immigrants that come here the legal way. Let's ignore all that shit. Let's ignore it and just, do whatever the hell we want. But we're going to hold our citizens that have been living here to a higher standard than I even hold myself to. God forbid if he farts the wrong way, let's throw that white son of a bitch in jail. Racist son of a bitch for farting. Pisses me off. Listen, immigrants, come here. Come here the right way. And that's what I'd say 99% of us that are complaining about this issue all say. We don't give a fuck about immigration. That's not what we're complaining about, you jackass Democrats. We don't care about immigration. Do it the right way is what we're saying. Don't do it illegally. Don't ignore our laws, because that shows just how much you're willing to break our laws to get what you want. Are you going to now rob a bank because you're poor on money? Well, I'm only doing it because I want to make a better life for my family, and we're poor, and I need to get food on the table, so I went and robbed that bank. I didn't hurt anybody. And that's exactly the same thing that they're doing. Well, they want to make a better life for themselves. They're after the American dream, so why should we punish them for robbing a bank? I mean, they didn't rob a bank. They took an undocumented withdrawal from these large corporations that are greedy with their money. I'm waiting for that next one to come about. And like Jenna pointed out, the veterans. Pissing all over our veterans. Our veterans are dying because they can't get medical help, but these cocksucking illegals are getting everything handed to them. Don't tell me they're not getting welfare, because they are getting welfare to protect them. They go to our health care system, no wait, go to an ER, no wait, don't pay the bill. They get treated, they go home. I've seen it in my area. I got a high amount of seasonal workers. And I could tell that there's been a massive amount of illegal workers because there's a couple of housing areas around my house. And they're usually jam-packed. Gone through lately? Empty. Ghost town. Why? Because it's illegals and they know they're going to get their ass thrown out of the country, so they're not coming here anymore. And I've gone to the doctor's office. My doctor's office treats a lot of them. And I've seen it. They're getting excellent care. And our veterans are getting shit. They went to war for our country, and what did they get in return? They get Democrats going, fuck you vets. We care more about illegal immigrants than we care about you vets. And that's the exact optics that I get from the Democrat Party. And some of the Republicans. John McCain's been pissing all over our vets. Man, he was doing that when he was a POW. I'm just so tired of it. And Keith Ellison, he's always got to go to the extreme. He's always got to go to the extreme. And it's the reason why the Democrats are losing, because of assholes like him. Ellison, he argues that most Americans know illegal immigrants who currently live in the United States. And you know what? I tell them, you need to go back. And I got a lot of different ethnicities in my neighborhood, and I got a lot of Latinos. And I've had the conversations. I'm like, oh, shit, here we go. I'm a white guy rooting for Trump. And they've been like, hell no, we're for Trump. My family came here legal years ago. They can come here legal. And that's what they're all saying. They want the laws to be followed. And it's Latinos. They're saying the same thing. We want the laws to be followed. That's all. That's all we're asking. I'm sorry your parents brought you here. That doesn't excuse you're still here illegally. Maybe there's something that could be worked out. But I want the border secure before we come up with any solution to the Dreamers or any of that. I want that wall nice and shiny with solar panel on top of it before any goddamn agreement is made on DACA. I know the Democrats go, oh, we made an agreement. No, you didn't. You're out there trying to piss the supporters off from Trump. That's all you're trying to do. That's all you're trying to do. You're trying to start shit. And here he is trying to work problems out, and you're trying to play politics. You're trying to play elections. What happened to the days when our politicians would sit down at a dinner, work out their differences, come out with a joint meeting? This is what we talked about. This is what we're agreeing upon. We gave up this. They gave up that. This is what we got. This is what they got. Everybody shakes hand and goes their separate way. You know, this is what America's supposed to be about, working together. Boom, done. Now it's, let's see how bad I can stick that knife in his back. Hi, how you doing? No, I love you. You know, all that shit that's going on. No. You know, that's just the media blowing shit up. I don't think that about you. Then walk outside and go, oh, yeah, he was agreeing with us. He doesn't care about the Republicans or his supporters. He's going to give up DACA. He's going to give us everything we want. He doesn't want border security. Oh, no, he don't give a shit about that. He told me that himself. That's what they're doing. And there's people they're so used to getting fucked over, they're believing it. And I'm just like, damn, people, just ease up. We've seen this before. They've tried this before. The White House came out and said, oh, no. There was no deal struck. You know, Trump comes out and he'll say when a deal struck. He did that, and I applaud him for the budget. I love that, Jenna. The best way to stop a protester, play the national anthem. They'll all sit down. Oh, they got to try that. Whose streets? Oh, we got to sit down. Oh, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. I love how, though, he tried to compare these illegal aliens to Jews in Nazi Germany. You know, he's trying to get the sympathy in there. But there's a big difference between, you know, trying to exterminate a race or a religious group and trying to deport them because they're in the country illegally. There's a big difference. I mean, Pelosi out there, they're going to put them in internment camps. No, we're going to send them back to the country they came from. And it's really scary because some of them don't want their own people back. They're like, oh, no, they're too big of an asshole. We don't want them back. You can have them. You keep them. I don't want him. You can have him. He's too fat for me. Oh. I don't know. It's crazy. Now what we're hearing also is Special Counsel Robert Mueller teams reportedly advised former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort that they plan to indict him after the July raid of his home in Alexandria, Virginia. The New York Times reported that prosecutors and investigator under Mueller's command warned Manafort that they plan to bring an indictment against him to a grand jury. The report is sourced to two individuals close to the investigation, though the Times did not specify as to the nature of the charges. Manafort is under investigation for possible violations of tax laws and failure to abide by disclosure requirements relating to his lobby work for the Kremlin-aligned government in East Europe. Now, here's the problem I have. Whoa. We're going to stop right there. That's not what Mueller was tasked to do. That is not what Mueller was tasked to do. His investigation has nothing to do with that. What this is, they have nothing on Trump. Nothing. They have nothing on collusion. Nothing anywhere. But they can't walk away empty-handed. So they're throwing a Hail Mary. They're going to try to indict Manafort so that they could at least walk away and say, well, there was something. We got Manafort, and we prosecuted him. We did our job. That's what this is about. This is not Manafort actually did something. This is, holy shit, we screwed up. We made this huge mess, started a special counsel, created this whole ruckus, and there's nothing there. Nothing. And they're going to look like a bunch of assholes. So they're going after Manafort. And one of the things they're trying to do, just like the raid they did, they went to his house early in the morning while everybody was sleeping, picked his lock, tiptoe into the room, and woke everybody up. It was a scare tactic to try to get him to turn on Trump. That's all this is. And that's what they're doing here. Well, we're going to indict you. Well, I'll make a deal. I'll make a deal. If you don't indict me, I'll make a deal. And I'll tell you all this shit on Trump. That's what they're looking for. And nothing's happening. Now they're going, oh, shit. And I wonder now what's going to happen with the revelation that they were wiretapping, possibly illegally wiretapping, Manafort as campaign manager. I wonder how that's going to look. I mean, that's going to blow some shit out because now they're going to have to expose if they charge Manafort. You know, the attorneys are going to start wanting all the information about how they got the wiretaps, what reasoning, how he was unmasked, and they're going to have to expose all that to the American people. Now that we know that he was wiretapped, they're going to have to expose all that information. You might see no indictment now. I think that's why that revelation came out yesterday. This might stop the indictment. This might stop a grand jury from happening. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe.
Featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American maggots won't. BZ is fundamentally changing America, one diaper at a time. Just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, where the speech is free, but the drinks are not. The Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night, commencing at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, where pushback is a requisite art form in and of itself. Let your ossicles be truly liberated when you listen to the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, only on SHR Media Network. No ferrets were harmed in the making.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on SHRmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to SHRmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Don't forget, coming up top of the hour in about 14 minutes is BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by BZ himself. BZ, not this weekend. I have my wife sitting down. It's going to be hard to get him in now. By the time she gets home from work, we get dinner, we get everything. I'm starting to prep the show, so it's a little hectic. I promise you, this weekend, hell or high water, I will have a new promo for you. I promise. I give you my word. Now I'm off key. Oh, that's where we're going. That's where we're going to go. Let me check something real quick. All right, that's sounding good. I know the big thing is just when my wife, she doesn't get home to 7 o'clock at night. By the time dinner and helping, getting everything all settled, it's about 8 o'clock. By 8:15, 8:30, I'm starting to prep for the show. Actually in this, guest studio, setting things up. So then by 8:30, daughter's getting ready for bed, so it's all kind of hectic by then. I promise you. I'm going to send my wife a text to threaten her, too. Tell her she has to do this. Let's see. Where are we at? Where are we at? Well, I should send you. I have that one of the, talking just SHR, the 15-second promo I have. But that's just me saying about SHR Media. Let me send that to you real quick. So at least you have that one. That one. So SHR got its name back again. Because I know those guys were using... Oh, Nikes, that was loud. They were using Gmail for a while. I didn't want to hit that button. What do I want to hit? This one. This is the one I want. Right? All right, attach. Desktop, where's the 15-second? God, I gotta clean this computer up. All right, you should have the 15-second promo. Because see, I'm in a difference with Dan on what we use. He likes that blog system. I think I pay less for my internet than they do. And it's easier I love WordPress. Dan got me using WordPress, actually, and it makes things so much easier, especially with, our SHR TV button has been working on shrmedia.com. And you have to, I think Dan has to go in there and manually upload each video for live video. Mine, I have a program that does it automatically for me. It does everything. If I'm not live, if I don't have a live YouTube, it goes to a list of shows from SHR Media. Yeah, I love WordPress. I'm website illiterate, and it makes it so easy for me to do my website. Dan helped me set it up, and now I could do a website, and I'm happy because I couldn't do it before. I don't get paid by WordPress, none of that. It makes it so much easier. Oh. So, where are we? Oh, I had so much stuff to get to. And I'm almost out of time. That whole audio issue that I started would really hurt me on the show. Here's one for you, BZ. Started the show, and right before it, I had tech support from XSplit. And he had me redo some of my settings on my computer, and I didn't know it. It basically muted all my sound for Facebook Live and YouTube. So, like, first 20 minutes, I had no sound going, and I spent running around trying to find what's going on. Oh, it pissed me off. But now, the problem that I was having with my broadcast, having that helicopter sound, seems to be gone. I haven't heard no complaints, and I believe it's not there anymore. So, pretty happy about that. Hopefully, I'm going to jump off a couple minutes early, and then I'll pay attention right after our shows start. I'll take a look at it, because I notice it right as soon as you go on air, it'll switch our title. Sometimes I'm still on the computer putzing around. I'll switch them over, so don't worry about that. I got that for you, buddy. And, Dad, it sounded like a helicopter was going in the background. It was on both the YouTube and the Facebook. The longer the show went, the worse the audio got. And it ended up being just like two minor changes. But it took, trying to send in support to XSplit. And they're in Singapore, I think. So the time difference was kind of hard. I know, I'm going to jinx it, ain't I, Jenna? With this new revelation that Trump Tower was wiretapped, that Donald Trump was wiretapped. Indirectly, he was wiretapped. His campaign was wiretapped, and they have said, them listening in on Manafort, they do have Donald Trump recordings during the campaign. Yeah, BZ, Singapore, I think it is, that's where XSplit is made from. So, there's support, excellent, very understandable. It's not your normal, like, broken English, because you're doing it, they have, like, a little chat program. Very easy. They had me doing screenshots of all my settings and sending the screenshots to them. And they're like, okay, change this setting. Okay, change that setting, change it to this. It's like, damn, that's pretty easy. To jump subject in back to, but yeah, so, what is it, Chris, Cizella? Cizelza? Hang on, let me see if I have the wife up and running. Come on, wifey. Come on. Yes, I do. I still have the wife up and running. And if you haven't listened to the show, I call the text-to-speech program my wife. That's my second wife. So I'm always going to my wife going, is this how you pronounce this? All right, let's see how this asshole's name is spelled. Here, let me...
Siliza. Chris Siliza.
Yeah, Chris Siliza. Yep, that's it. I had to get the other wife out. Just what was it, last week, September 13th? September 5th, I'm sorry, September 5th. He was out there and made a bold claim that Donald Trump just flat out lied about Trump Tower being wiretapped. Now you come up to the 18th and CNN broke a big story. That's yesterday. CNN broke the big story that the U.S. government wiretapped Trump's campaign chairman who was living in the Trump Towers. During the campaign, he was living in Trump Towers. Trump Towers was wiretapped. Chris Cizilla looks like a goddamn idiot. And CNN did it to him. That's the beautiful part. It's all falling apart. Well, the liberal, I should say, is falling apart. Number one, Comey should be brought back in and charged with lying. He testified in front of Congress. Saying there was no wiretapping, that President Trump's claims were unfounded. He checked with DOJ. He checked with the FBI, and there is no wiretapping to be found. And here it is. The FBI and the DOJ were wiretapping Trump's campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, while he was living at Trump Towers. And it has been already admitted that they have Trump on those recordings. Now, yes, they were recording Manafort before. They had been investigating him. They came up with no evidence. They ended the investigation. And then he becomes the chairman. They open the investigation back up and start wiretapping him again. This is bigger than Watergate. And the liberals, the drive-by media, they're going to ignore this. This is bigger than Watergate. This is worse than Watergate. We had a Democrat sitting president listening in on the Republican presidential candidate's campaign. That is absolutely ridiculous and sickening. And we, the people, should be up in arms about this, freaking out that our government, that our Democrat Party is doing that. They didn't like it when Nixon did it to them. Why the hell is it okay for them to do it now? All right. That's all that's going to be for today. I'm going to drop out a couple minutes early. That's the way we can try to resolve this damn next issue we have with YouTube. Hey, Dan, how's it going, sir? What? I mentioned your name, your ears start burning? All right, you've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'll be back tomorrow. Listen, everybody, have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.